Today we're going to work on a long progression. It starts very, very slow, and then at the end we can go to full-on high intensity work if we want. I call this progression the GI Joe progression. So this person is like a GI Joe doll at first, non-animated, doesn't move, but if I move him, then he stays in place, right? And I start to figure out how to move him. But like a doll, though, it does have internal structure. So if I start to push down in a way that the doll couldn't naturally move, he needs to, play that role. What we're looking at is how to take somebody down by moving them from their 6 points of movement. From some other videos in training, the 6 points of movement: hand and wrists are 1, elbows are 2, head and shoulders are 3, hips are 4, knees are 5, feet and ankles are 6. So those are the places that we want to move somebody from. And basically, we always have a downward force vector. We have gravity. So we're trying to adjust the person so they can no longer resist gravity and they fall. Not so much like a judo throw where you pick somebody up and you throw them to the ground. We can still do that, and obviously it's one of life's greater joys. But here, we're just want to work very lightly and move them so they basically collapse. A large part of this is study and learning. So I'm learning how to move somebody, how to break structure. At the same time, he's learning where his structure becomes compromised in awareness and everything along those lines. So I really want to focus on those points. If I start, we've all probably seen fights where somebody grabs other guy's chest and they move and they're shoving each other's chest and nothing really happens, because that's not a good point of movement. As we're moving, like here's elbows, I'm always looking at the spine and what's occurring with the spine. And I want to get it so the spine starts to bend or twist. It started to twist there. Here now it's starting to bend. Maybe a hand here, and now a knee, and he goes down. So at first, he's just staying very stationary. As I'm moving, I'm touching very, very lightly. I want to just move him a little bit. I get to a certain point where his body starts to get some tension. And that's where I should stop. If I continue to move, now I'm doing a little bit more force on force. Plus, he starts to become aware of it. The nice thing is that if I move very lightly, and I'm just using my fingertips, as we start to become more animated and start to fight, it's difficult for him to perceive that I've even moved him. If I'm in and I'm like this, now he's very aware of all those things. As soon as I lighten up and just move him to those points. So again, the sensitivity is wherever I start to move the hip, right there, it starts to fire. That's where I would stop, go to another movement point, another one. And you see I'm doing 4, 5, 6. It's good for the training to do that. Sure, I can just hit 2 points and be done with it. But for the training portion, it's nice to really study how everything connects. So Luck's going to go ahead and start to work very lightly. So a couple of thoughts. One, in this drill, we want to make sure we're building good habits as we're working. So even though this is a laboratory and I can certainly walk around, I want to make sure that I have good posture. I don't want to start to train where I'm bending from here or there. The other is his most awareness is up here where his eyes, his awareness, his shoulders and everything are at. In this drill, I can start to work from the shoulders right at the beginning, because it's not a fake drill. What's the word I want to say? But it's the drill's not looking at full realism right now. Don't touch the shoulders in your first 1 or 2 moves. His awareness is too strong. If we start to really do this faster, work against the shoulders and head, initially you're not so good. So start to work a little bit from other areas, and then you can work the shoulders in when appropriate. also want to start to look at something I'd like to call maybe a hole. So right now he's got two. This is the lesser one. Here's the stronger one. So I start to work to collapse him into that hole. And it all, also with this drill, try not to reach too far. Use wherever your arms are at and start to see whatever is available from here. Now maybe I do a little shoulder. There's the hole. I could push him just gently right down the spine and drop him. Right. So the second drill in this progression I call G.I. Joe with an attitude. So if I'm G.I. Joe, now I get into my favorite kung fu fighting stances or whatever, although I actually don't recommend the one-legged ones because you'll stand there for quite a while. Now I just, wherever, and I'm not animated, now he could walk around and he starts to look at where my structure, how I've already, my stance is starting to bend it. Remember I said about shoulders though, don't move from my shoulders right away. Right? Good, so we can even go back and forth a little bit. So it's in, I start to see where there's some potential weaknesses, and it's fine if I walk from here. He may be attacking my family or whomever. So sometimes, yeah, instead of simply a ring fight, I can start to go, okay, if he's here, how can I start to bring him down? In reality, though, if that was the case and I was behind him and it was my family, I would just end it quickly. But yeah, so I can start to see wherever things are at. Go ahead. So. All right. So the next phase, we start to animate just a little bit at the beginning. So I'm doing an attack and then stopping and freezing back into stationary mode. So from here, Luck's going to avoid and then immediately start to work. Do a couple. It's good to come in. It's good to start to build good habits too. Because I'm here, I don't want to end up where I'm in this position. Now he can kick. If he has a firearm, it's easy for him to draw and immediately be on top, on target. As he's in, I want to make sure that I'm practicing in such a way. I want to end up here. Not to say that he can't kick me, but it would be pretty impressive. As he goes to draw his firearm, he's got to make a lot more motion. Plus, what I like being up here, if any of that starts to happen, I've got knees right into the head and the throat. So it's just, some of that is just starting to think, even though we're moving slow, we're moving easy, where do I want to end up? So the next drill in this progression is full animation. And we start just very, very slow, but continuous. As the attacker, I'm the G.I. Joe. He's the defender. I don't stop my attack. I keep a nice, steady, constant speed. Future steps in this progression, it's actually the same drill. We'll just keep ramping the intensity and the speed up to whatever level that you want to go. So does that mean I'm continuously trying to move, try to do, remember the different 6 points of movement. So as he's in, 1, 2, but you have to be continuous. Right? Sometimes it doesn't work out. So even though I'm the G.I. Joe, he puts himself in a bad position. I shouldn't just fall and tank for him. I don't speed up to take advantage of something that I see. I try to maintain it, but I want to make sure that I'm training properly with him and I'm not cheating him out of an experience. Over time, as you start to play with the different points of movement, you just start to touch him and don't even think about it. If you touch one, he comes in, it doesn't kind of really work the way I want, that's fine. Go to another one, and just keep moving those points, right? That's it. If nothing else, escape. You're staying, so this is good. You're staying in my kill zone. So we talk about a kill zone. You put your arms up at a 45-degree angle. Everything that's right in here is my best kill zone. I got my eyes, both arms, knees, and feet. So as he's attacking, his kill zone is here. As he's moving in, I move. So I'm not in his kill zone, he's in mine. Now, it may just be for a second. Actually, that's all it is going to be. And I can either do the by movement or a simple turn if he's attacking strong like that. If he's more sporty and so he's not committing as much to the attack, then I got to move a little different. The thing about those kill zones in the relationship, so zip in, too much shoulder. Remember, you're going right for the shoulder. Or something else. And then from there, so think about the barrel, right? So you were here and you were here. If you just lift this up, I'm like a barrel, okay, then you'll get it. We're talking about, as he's bent, he's got a hole back there that I can move him in. But also from here, if you think of the body as like the shape of a barrel, it rolls. I use the elbow. This is a 6-point move. I didn't want you to go down. This gives me leverage into the spine. So I'm taking the spine, it's bent, and now I'm going to twist it this way. So other people, they want to go here, but yeah, he can step. I don't want him to step. I lift this up. See how the knee, the pressure starts to come. This foot is very difficult for him to move because his weight's on it. And that's what I want. Otherwise, if I start to go this way, he can start to walk. And then we end up not doing it. It's nice just to take people and put them into the ground right where they're at. That's it, escape. Nothing else, escape. You start to speed up a little bit.